Hello Star Seekers. This is Jeannie from Horoscope Forecasts 369. Whether you're an Aries or a Pisces, we're here to guide you. Let's cut through the cosmic noise and dive into today's horoscope predictions. Sunday, August 6th, 2023. The astrology of today, all signs. Today's Aries Moon is assertive, direct, and enthusiastic. The Sun forms a square to Jupiter today, and we can find ourselves eager to expand. While our ideas are big, we're reminded of the limits of our capabilities and must adjust accordingly. There is an inclination to extravagance and overreaching. While the Sun square to Jupiter can stimulate much optimism and elevated moods, our state of mind is fragile as things are overblown or unrealistic. We can feel some discontent, leading us to seek more meaning, growth, or change. We should watch for trying to reach too far on this quest, overestimating our energy levels or the time we might invest in a commitment. We would do well to remind ourselves that going bigger isn't always in our best interests. Today's Aries horoscope. Today's energies are optimistic, dear Aries, but it's easy to go too far with expectations under today's Sun-Jupiter square. Jupiter encourages you to enjoy comforts, while the Sun wants you to move out of your comfort zone to find new pleasures and channels for expression. Whether it's about wanting to impress someone you love or only because you're in a good mood and want to share today, the tendency is to go over the top. If you're investing in the wrong things, moodiness can ensue. Ups and downs are possible, but it's also a great time for seeing where you may have been pushing too hard. Respecting your limits and avoiding promises and inflated expectations can help tremendously now. Today's Aries Moon highlights you and your personal plans and needs. Today's Taurus horoscope. Today's transits inspire good moods, dear Taurus, although you can also feel a little withdrawn with the moon in the sign behind yours all day. A Sun-Jupiter square can also point to fluctuations due to high expectations. There is some tendency to go overboard or to recognize areas where you've been overtaxed or excessive. Restlessness is possible. You might also experience a conflict between nurturing your strong need for security and safety and your similarly big desire for personal space and a sense of autonomy. While you can imagine all sorts of things you'd like to accomplish, part of you is holding back, or the demands of home and family keep you feeling tied down. Consider ways to manage your expectations, strike a compromise, and find a better balance. Simplifying or giving a little in both areas of life will serve you best in the long run. Your confidence radiates, and it could very well attract good things to you, as long as you control the tendency to go over the top. Be kind to yourself by not expecting too much of yourself. Today's Gemini horoscope. The moon in your social sector all day highlights your need to focus on your happiness and social life, dear Gemini. Today's transits encourage you to look at the larger picture in life and assess whether recent projects are heading in the right direction. However, with Sun square Jupiter, over-optimism can leave people vulnerable to self-deception. Watch for faulty judgment today, as you may not see all the facts. Try not to take on too much, particularly when serving and helping others, which you have been doing more than enough of recently. It's a question of time and energy. You need to take better care of yourself. In truth, you may be seeking more meaning in your work or your efforts to help others. If you've become a little too short-sighted recently due to a hectic schedule, you'll feel the need to broaden your horizons. Excellent energy is with you for finding very creative ways to meet your needs. Today's Cancer horoscope. There is a general feeling that we can do more than we actually can today, dear Cancer, due to a Sun-Jupiter square. While likely good intentions are involved, it's better not to bank on promises made now. As well, taming spending and overdoing is wise. The Sun in your solar second house these days turns your attention to the practical side of your life, but also to creature comforts and comfy routines. Its clash with Jupiter, currently in your social sector, can point to a feeling of being torn between wanting to do something different and exciting and preferring to stay put and stick with what you already know. A friend or even a project or idea seems to promise more than can be delivered, or there can be a sense that things are not coming along quite as well or as quickly as you had anticipated. The answer is not to push yourself harder or to take on more endeavors, but to work on problem areas and make improvements. Today's Leo horoscope. The moon spends the day in your spirit sector, dear Leo, and you're looking forward. Today's Sun-Jupiter square has a way of revealing areas where we've been overdoing things, however. In your case, the Sun in your sign has encouraged personal focus and efforts towards self-improvement, while Jupiter pushes performance, ambition, career, or accomplishment. You want to do both well, but something has to give. Allow yourself to dream and think big, but try not to overdo things, as you'll end up too exhausted when genuine opportunities present themselves. If you're reassessing a recent business or professional endeavor, it's best to aim to make changes that get your expectations down to earth before going forward. Today's Virgo horoscope. A part of you can be restless and hungry to experience something different now, dear Virgo, although you could be without a plan or definite direction right now. Plans for the future are firm in your mind, but part of you may be clinging to the past or finding excuses not to go after what you want. With a Sun-Jupiter square today, you could instead be tied to obligations or service to others. Guilt might hold you back from doing your own thing, or you temporarily feel a little insecure or unsure of yourself. It's important to be extra sensitive when exchanging opinions today, as a debate can escalate and become much more. For best results, be discreet. You may not have all the information necessary to solve a problem, making it better to wait it out. Decisions should not be rushed now. Today's Libra horoscope. It's best to avoid overdoing or overcommitting as a quick fix to a problem today, dear Libra, with the Sun square Jupiter. People may dramatize things and exaggerate with this transit in play. There can be some pressure on you from friends or groups. Dissatisfaction with routines or your current state of affairs can be more prominent. There can be difficulties balancing your intimate life and your social life coming to a head now. If you've been expecting more from an endeavor or even a relationship, this can be when you question whether it's genuinely satisfying. Consider that waning enthusiasm is natural and temporary at this juncture. It's a good time to think in bigger terms as long as you tame the tendency to overshoot. Consider ways to divide your attention in a balanced way. Today's Scorpio horoscope. Today's Sun-Jupiter square aspect can point to desires that are sometimes hard to fulfill, dear Scorpio. Instincts might tell you one thing, and people tell you another today, making it difficult to arrive at clear decisions. You may swing from optimism to pessimism, and the truth lies somewhere in between. Keep things as objective as possible, and while you should listen to others' points of view, avoid being swayed by promises made now, as they may be hard to keep. Watch for errors made from ignoring or glossing over details. As well, do your best not to skip steps because you're anxious to get the ball rolling. Pushing too hard toward a goal can wear you down or overwhelm you, which is counterproductive. Still, today is good for opening your mind to new possibilities and ideas. Today's Sagittarius horoscope. The moon's stay in your sector of joy and pleasure encourages you to enjoy and express yourself more fully, dear Sagittarius. However, today's Sun-Jupiter square can lead to taking things a little too far, or it can stir restlessness, especially if you're stuck in a routine. Business or money ideas can be big, although perhaps too grandiose or missing important details. On the other hand, you might get the sense that you don't have the time or energy to accomplish your larger goals and are tempted to skip steps to reach an ambition. Consider pacing yourself instead. Becoming overwhelmed by things to do will not help you achieve more, and right now, the desire for freedom from restrictions and routines is strong. Avoid taking on more tasks, as they might only add to your worries. Today's Capricorn horoscope. The moon spends the day in your solar fourth house, dear Capricorn, and you crave some familiarity. Even so, today's Sun-Jupiter square can find you swinging from a generous mood to a more serious frame of mind and back again. Jupiter has been encouraging you to take a risk with your heart or creativity these days, but the Sun's current mission is to stir a desire for deeper bonds and connections, and this mini struggle can come to a head now. Watch that you don't take risks that are over the top, particularly with money, as instincts for financial matters may be out of step just for now. You may also be unsure of someone's feelings for you, or you fluctuate between wanting light or intense interactions. Fortunately, these conflicts can encourage creative solutions. Today's Aquarius horoscope. With today's Sun-Jupiter square, dear Aquarius, going overboard is a possibility. You may think you can keep the peace by pleasing everyone, but this is a taller order than you think. This transit energizes your sectors of home, family, and partnerships, and any or all of these things can place demands on you. Restlessness is possible if you feel overwhelmed with things you want to do or are caught up in a dilemma that leaves you wondering what your next step should be. You have a more vital need for security and a sense of belonging now, but it's essential to take independent steps to achieve these rather than wait for others to fill them. Restlessness that you transform into taking positive action is productive. Promises made today may be well-intentioned but are unlikely to be fulfilled. Today's Pisces horoscope. Today's Sun-Jupiter square can bring a building conflict to a head, dear Pisces, particularly if you have too much going on in your life right now. The Sun in your work and health sector has been encouraging you to improve your routine game, and Jupiter in your communication sector is curious and hungry to learn and pursue more casual interests. The temptation is to do it all. However, that's putting too much pressure on yourself. A checkpoint on a project can reveal you're falling behind. If so, it's time to remind yourself of motivators and adjust expectations to more realistic levels. There could be some moodiness if you haven't accomplished all that you wanted to do, but a new plan of action can emerge that suits you well. As we wrap up, I'm Jeannie thanking you for tuning in to Horoscope Forecasts 369. Remember, these are guides, but your will shapes your destiny. Like, share, subscribe for more astro insights, and let the stars guide you until we meet again. Take care.